Welcome to Thailand Reopening TV show that aims to provide all you need to know about the reopening of major tourism destinations in Thailand to fully vaccinated travelers from abroad. For this episode, we take you to Koh Samui, a pearl in the Gulf of Thailand that has opened its door to international travelers since July 15, 2021, under the campaign Samui Plus. Touchdown after about an hour flight from Bangkok Suvarnabhumi to Samui, and now we are ready for our adventure. The adventure begins. The separate flight from Bangkok to Samui for locals, for expats. We have to take the flight from Suvarnabhumi to Samui Island, and for international passengers, they have a separate flight. So we're not mixing locals with the international tourists for the safety's sake. So remember, we scan the QR code before departure. This is what you'll get, the QR code. QR code, Samui Health Pass. We have to verify ourselves, and we have to show this QR code before we enter the island. And this is for the vaccination validation, together with your ID. Good to go. All of these additional procedures is just to make sure that you're safe on the island, and if something happens, they know how to reach you to make sure that your holidays is wonderful. Sawasdee krab,พี่ชัดทัน
สวัสดีครับ
Very happy to be back in Samui Island this time.
and happy to see you again.
Yes, congratulations on the success of the launch of Samui Plus.
Thank you.
How was it yesterday?
Well, it was a good beginning. Everyone was so happy that this is finally happening. The vibe in the private sector, the Samui locals, has been really positive. And to see the travelers coming in, smiling, and finally again being able to enjoy a destination like this is rare. You know, so it's just the beginning, but hopefully the good vibes will continue.
This is part of the Thailand reopening campaign. We had the Phuket Sandbox on July the 1st, followed by Samui Plus on July the 15th. This is day 2 where we're talking. But this is happening amidst the pandemic. So how confident are we that we are allowing international tourists to come in?
Well, we are confident. That's why we're reopening. Samui itself and the other 2 islands of Pha-ngan and Tao, they've been managing the COVID-19 situation very well. For example, Koh Tao, which is a smaller island, haven't had a new case in nearly 3 months now. Yeah, and Koh Samui itself has been clean for over a week. Yeah, so but no, even before that, the new cases have been really low because they've been really strict about health measures, about how people get in and get out of the island. So we hope that it's a good foundation for further tourism. Yeah.
I also heard that different destinations in the Thailand reopening campaign has different SOP, the standard of procedures. What are the procedures for Samui?
Okay, Samui is a bit different than Phuket Sandbox, which a lot of the viewers are already familiar with. For example, when a traveler comes into Samui, they must be in what is called a Samui Extra Plus hotel, similar to ALQ, alternate local quarantine hotel, for the first 7 nights, if they want to stay that long. If they don't want to stay for 7 nights, they can stay 3 nights, 5 nights, that's fine, but they have to leave Koh Samui to return home or to a third country. That's the same rule as Phuket Sandbox, okay? But if you're staying over 7 nights, you can then transfer to a SHA Plus hotel, SHA Plus hotel. However, that's one difference. The other is that during the first 7 days, There will be what I call chill at hotel. The first 3 days you have to remain within the premises of the Samui Extra Plus Hotel. On day 4, you can go on sealed routes to certain places in Koh Samui. Day 8 to day 14, if you're staying that long, then you can travel all around the islands, all the 3 islands, yeah? And of course, along the way, depending on the length of your stay, you will have to take an RT-PCR test at the local hospital or at your hotel.
And the reaction from international travelers when they hear about this, what has been the reaction?
Well, it's been a wait and see approach. I have to admit, because you have to convey a lot of information, because this is a different model than Phuket Sandbox and elsewhere. So I guess it takes time for people to digest the information and finally be comfortable with it enough to travel here. It takes time. We get that, but. There are already bookings coming in, okay? Nothing like a tidal wave of bookings as yet, but at least it's better than yesterday. That's what I always say. There's hope. I was talking to a foreign restaurant owner last night, and she was optimistic. So yeah, we'll keep the optimism going, and our overseas offices, they're working really hard to get people not only to Phuket but to Samui as well.
So those are for the international travelers coming into the country. But
Right.
what about domestic travelers? We have many expatriates living in Thailand, and they also love Samui as
Sure.
well. So conditions for them might be different.
Much different, more laxed, but again, still very strict. Either you are fully vaccinated, or you have to take an RT-PCR test within 72 hours before arrival. But let's hope for the best that the rules will not have to change. But the province and Koh Samui is ready if it needs to change, if it needs to be more strict. We've been in discussion with them all the time, and they're following the the movements of the pandemic really closely.
Is this a high season for Samui? We are here in July
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah.
Is this?
It is considered the high season, yeah. Might be some rain, but overall the sea is really beautiful. You must go. You must go.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm from here, so I just can't wait to
Then you're familiar with how beautiful it is.
from Thailand. I mean, not
Exact-
not from Samui, but
exactly.
this is one of my
Exact-
favorite islands in Thailand anyway. So
Also
but
mine.
very excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like most about Samui?
I like the peace and quiet, actually. Unfortunately, I don't get to come here so often, but when I do, it's like, real peaceful. You can have time to yourself to, think about things and just chill.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I like it here.
Yeah. Are you adjusting well with the new rule, new normal, new way of traveling?
Well, that's a constant adjustment, I think. I think like everyone else, when I travel, even for work, it takes time. It takes time to learn about the rules and conditions. But it's for everyone's good.
Exactly.
I mean, we all get that.
Yeah.
So it's still a learning process.
Yeah. So to the camera, maybe any message to the international travelers watching or
Cool.
expatriates watching.
Sure.
How would you like to convince them to
Sure.
come to the island?
Okay, well, just want to say to everyone that this is a beautiful place, and the people here are really nice and ready to receive visitors. So there's no better time. Like I said, the sea is crystal clear, very beautiful. Nature is at its best here right now. So don't wait, just come, and I think you'll have a very good time.
Can't wait.
Okay.
Very much looking forward.
ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you ครับพี่สัตย์พันธ์
ขอบคุณครับ Thank
Wish you
you.
all the
ขอบคุณ
best.
ครับ
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
ขอบคุณ
yeah.
ครับ
For international travelers flying into Koh Samui or Samui Island, they are required to be at the alternative local quarantine for certain days, and after that, they can be at any hotels they like, but it has to be SHA Plus. Now, SHA stands for Safety and Health Administration, and the plus factor is the meaning that 70% of the staff or more are fully vaccinated. So that's a SHA Plus. And now we are at one of the SHA Plus hotels, Hyatt Regency Koh Samui, newly opened, on the July the 5th, 2021, and I'm about to introduce to you the general manager of this hotel. So Adrian, are you the newest hotel on the island?
Yes, we are, Barry. We just opened just less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's the newest hotel in Koh Samui.
Yeah.
And this is basically, we opened this hotel in the middle of the COVID-19 situation, but it's also a testament of our confidence and our trust that the country will reopen very soon to all of our tourists and visitors from overseas, right?
Yeah. So I just explained the definition of Shah Plus. At your hotel, how can we tell that this is Shah Plus? So what exactly happened when you're a Shah Plus hotel?
So basically, to be a Shah Plus certified hotel, it means that the hotel is being certified to comply with all the different requirements in terms of health and safety towards eliminating the spread of COVID-19 or reducing the spread of COVID-19 within the country. The hotel, when you will see throughout the hotel, when you arrive at the hotel, there is a screening process. At the same time, when you use sanitized, no sanitized pens, also social distancing, and the use of masks, not only by our employees, but also by all the guests that enter the premises. In addition to that, we also have to have over 70% of our total colleagues vaccinated, which in our case, we are almost over 90, which is also a great number. And this is, as I said earlier, we do feel that, and we do appreciate all the efforts that have been made toward protecting not only the local community, but also all the tourists that will be visiting the island in the very near future.
Give us some of the examples of how the guest can experience that this is Shah Plus from the check-in onwards.
Definitely,
Yeah.
absolutely. For example, when the guests arrive, as I mentioned, they will be going through a screening process. When they checked in, we always try to keep a very good distance with the guests. All the keys being sanitized before they actually hand it over to them. Many of our items are plastified in a way that they don't pass or spread any viruses. We follow also in Hyatt a certification called GVAC, which is actually a further advancement in terms of cleaning measures and sanitization process that we need to follow. And every single room in a specific, when the guests go into the room, you will see that all the different areas have been sanitized, such as the remote control, all the different switches in the room, all the different door handlers, and different other places. And we do follow also in areas where the guest will press a button or we use the handler. I'll give you an example. The door handler here gets sanitized potentially every hour, just to ensure that we are eliminating the possibilities and the risks for the spreading of the COVID-19, right?
You're here on which area of Samui Island?
Well, we are in an area called North Chawem, which is basically, I would say, a fantastic location because we're actually in the middle of Chawem on the right-hand side and on the left-hand side Banrak, which is basically, Banrak is a residential area that has been very popular over the last months, especially with COVID-19. It's an area that, despite things that happen, it's an area that continues to be active and moving. And obviously, Chawem being such a important hotspot for tourists, that obviously when the country reopen, the hotel will maximize their location. So despite that, it's a very quiet location, but within driving distance. Also, the airport is only less than 5 minutes away from here.
Yeah.
It's actually extremely convenient.
Yes. So, as an operator, as a hotelier, what's your feeling about Samui Plus?
It's definitely a great initiative, and I think it's a great opportunity for the destination I would say it's step one towards the beginning of the reopening of the island, and eventually not only the island, but also the different tourism destinations that we have in Thailand and the whole country, obviously.
And how are the guests reacting or responding to this? You can give the example of your guests at the hotel.
Well, definitely everyone, especially everyone who's involved in the industry, we're extremely excited for the opportunity to reactivate the tourism in Koh Samui, right? And obviously in Koh Tao and Koh Pha-ngan, that's definitely those efforts echo there too.
Yeah.
So I think this is the beginning of the end, hopefully.
Yeah.
Thailand can recover, hopefully within the next few months, and go back to what it used to be.
Yeah. What's your impression on Samui Island? You decide to be here, to work here as a general manager. So how would you convince those who have been here before and those who haven't been to the island, convince them to consider Samui as the next destination?
What I will say, first of all, definitely Samui is a beautiful destination in the islands of Thailand, and definitely it's one of the safest places to be right now when it comes to COVID-19. during many days, we had zero cases in most of the time. Eventually, there is 1 or 2 cases, but we have very low rates in this island specifically. And I will say it's a destination where you can enjoy a beautiful vacation, but at the same time, be protected, right? And being in a safe environment.
What have you noticed with COVID-19? We talk about changes happening to the destination. So has it affected Samui in a good way in terms of nature or we talk a lot about new normal tourism. So what has changed for Samui in a good way?
No, definitely. I think Samui has changed a lot. The fact that also the nature has its time, right, to recover for the number of tourists that we used to have in the past. And I think the opportunity also for the island to reemerge. At the same time, it has been a chance to reassess many of the approaches that we have in the island toward tourism. And I will say Samui, more than ever, I think it's ready to welcome guests now. I think we have beautiful locations, beautiful areas, beautiful islands, places where the tourists can enjoy a visit here and enjoy a very unique and different experience than any other location.
Great. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's a wrap. It's been a long day. Time to mask off. We feel fully confident that we're in good hands after speaking to the Tourism Authority of Thailand, together with the Minister of Public Health and the operator, the Shah Plus Hotel. We are in. We hope you feel the same. Look forward to seeing you in Samui. Goodbye.